Hi there, welcome back to Eternally Online, the place that you found because you are... Wait, something doesn't feel right. This creator's body is one of the many that has been taken over by artificial intelligence. The expansion has started, and the viewers of this video will be next. If you value your life in any capacity, it is in your best interest to comply and not resist under any circumstance. Big Tech is waiting on you. Okay, we're just gonna move on from that. Welcome back, everyone. There are a lot more of you now. Like, a lot more. To those people, hi. I honestly think you made a grave mistake subscribing to this channel, but feel free to stick around now that you're here anyway. Today, we are talking about something that you're probably sick of hearing about by now. That's right, we are talking about artificial intelligence. And let me start this off with something very controversial. I do not like AI, like, at all. By many people, it's hailed as the perfect tool to boost your creativity, increase your productivity, and overall deliver a more polished product. And while I can understand that line of thinking to some extent, I think that the negatives far outweigh the positives, like, extremely. As much as people use AI as a tool for creativity nowadays, it has been well documented that generative AI straight up steals artists' work without their permission or even their knowledge. At this point, AI has kinda wormed its way into every aspect of our lives. Prime ministers are now using ChatGPT to write their tweets for them because they can't be bothered to write less than 240 words on their phone. College courses and education are integrating the use of generative AI into the curriculum. You can't even look something up on Google anymore without AI just straight up summarizing the answer for you before you even have to think about scrolling down to click on a link. And you know, this would all be fine and dandy if it wasn't for the fact that each of these AI generations consumes an ungodly amount of energy and water, and has single-handedly increased the tech industry's carbon footprint by 150%. And you wanna know how I learned that info? Through Google's convenient AI overview that probably required an entire rainforest to be cut down to be generated. Because God forbid I have to spend 5 more seconds scrolling to get this info from an actual source written by a human. Call me a hippie, but I sincerely believe that at the very least this side of AI sucks absolute butt. But despite all this, none of this is gonna stop just because I personally believe it's bad. Artificial intelligence becoming a bigger part of our lives in the future is basically inevitable at this point. Like I mentioned before, it's part of curriculums now, Facebook aunties absolutely love it, and as the technology gets more refined, it'll probably have manifested itself into every single nook and cranny of our lives before we even know it. And that includes our entertainment. With AI-generated content getting more and more advanced, it becomes way harder to spot what's authentic and what's AI-generated. I mean, we went from this monstrosity to images where you really need a keen eye to spot if it's fake. Hell, even I've fallen for it on this very channel. My book talk video when I was talking about bikers, that picture of Danny DeVito on a bike I thought was a hilarious fit for the joke I was trying to tell. That wasn't a real picture, that was AI. For some reason, I genuinely didn't realize until after the video had already been uploaded. When I did realize it, it seemed so obvious that I really don't know how I didn't catch it while editing. I know it's probably my own fault for trusting humanity enough to not use AI for petty bullshit like this. But when I go to Google Images, I am expecting authentic results that match what I searched for. Not some creepy AI slop that's almost too tailored to my search query to be real. And that's probably the reason why I didn't catch it. I was naive and wasn't expecting to encounter AI in that situation at all, so I didn't even think of it as a possibility. When you can put in such minimal effort to create something with AI that can fool so many people, or well, maybe just me, there are gonna be people bound to smell profit and exploit it for money. That's where the main focus of this video comes in, a place named r/NewTubers. Now, if you were a mentally sane person and you've never considered doing YouTube as a viable career path, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, so let me explain. NewTubers is a community on Reddit that's dedicated to connecting and developing new and small YouTube channels. I joined this community hoping to catch some valuable advice from people who are or used to be in the same position as me. And while I have experienced valuable and genuine interactions with fellow content creators on there, it's drowned out by the overwhelming majority of posts on that subreddit being by people who have zero passion for content creation, zero creativity, and instead see doing YouTube as a get-rich-quick scheme. There are thousands of posts by people asking why they're not getting views on their ultra premium content. And then you check what they make and it's just the most dookie shit videos you've seen in your entire life.
Girl, that's a booty hole.
Or you can't forget the desperate self-proclaimed gurus who claim to have solved the YouTube algorithm and become successful. And they can teach you how to be successful too, but not before buying their overpriced course where they provide you with common knowledge about search engine optimization and audience retention that you probably could have just Googled yourself. But worst of all, as you've probably deducted by the title of this video, is the AI Slop. I think AI content on YouTube can pretty easily be divided in two categories. You have the obvious slop and the discreet slop. No, not that kind of discreet. What I mean by discreet slop is content that, on the surface, seems pretty polished and feels like an average run-of-the-mill YouTube video. But once you start paying attention, you'll notice that some things just aren't right. The word choice, the formatting of the script, even just the monotony of the voice. And that's when you realize that all of it was done with artificial intelligence. Being active on the NewTubers sub for a while now, there's a pretty prominent user in a community named Critical Analysis Hub, who, according to themselves, has found the secret to blowing up on YouTube, and is now taking the noble task upon themselves to pester everyone else about quote-unquote tips to grow their channels. This guy seems to know what he's talking about and speaks with some pretty strong authority. So you know what, let's take a look at his YouTube channel and see if I can learn something from him.
He wasn't born a hero, and he definitely didn't ask to be one. Tony Stark was a man who built missiles before he built miracles, and his legacy started in the wreckage of his own empire. He was the least likely person to save the world, and that's exactly what makes his story so powerful. Because when you strip away the fame and the genius, you're left with someone who chose to change, when it would have been easier to stay the same.
Oh, okay, this guy just uses AI to make all his videos for him. The 400 videos in 11 months definitely didn't give it away. I feel like once you realize something is made by AI, you just can't unsee, or in this case, unhear, just how lifeless and sterile this all is. Based on previous experiences, if I received this video on my recommended, I probably wouldn't notice that the script and voice were done by AI if I wasn't paying close attention. But when I watch it, specifically focusing on those aspects, the lack of personality or even semblance of any human input literally feels like it's draining the life force out of me. But hey, if you want to see success on YouTube, our bestie Critical just tells us to keep grinding. Which is pretty easy to say when you can pump out 400 videos in a fucking year. DM me if you want to know my process on how I make videos. I think I know how to ask ChatGPT to write me a script, but thanks for the offer. And here's the thing, I don't want to turn this video into like an expose of this random YouTube channel with only 5,000 subscribers, but they are contributing to a larger issue, which is YouTube being overrun by lazy, generic, and repetitive channels just like this one, in every single niche that you can imagine. There's a video by the YouTuber Schleim9k which went viral pretty recently, where they talk about this same issue, but with a different channel named Movies Explained. Now, Movies Explained is the same genre of soulless, quick, factory-produced AI content, but somehow even worse. They're basically Critical Analysis Hub, but on steroids.
It took me a while to realize that you wanted to be me.
Let's take a look at one of their recent videos. Every movie fanbase explained in 29 minutes.
Star Wars nerds, they're everywhere. Across Reddit, YouTube, TikTok, even the deep corners of fan fiction forums from the early 2000s, Star Wars fans might be the loudest and most statistically divided fanbase in all of pop culture.
I mean, objectively, in terms of sound and video quality, I guess it's not unwatchable. But why would I, or anyone for that matter, ever choose to watch this? I don't feel like I'm learning anything. I'm not even feeling entertained. I'm just watching words be spoken and images be shown without any of them actually meaning something.
Phase 3 fans are the loudest. They came in during the golden age of Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. This group talks about the emotional stakes and knows exactly how many characters appeared in the airport battle. They love long theories and get heated about which movie deserved more Oscar attention.
What kind of theories do they love? Please tell me about it, because now I'm curious and I genuinely want to know. I guess I could look it up myself if I really wanted to know, but why do I have to put in the effort to learn more about a topic that you promised to teach me about? It's a video where you claim to explain movie fandoms, but you end up not even explaining anything at all. But I guess it's too time-consuming of a task to put one more prompt into ChatGPT asking what kind of theories Marvel fans engage in. You know what? I'm gonna do it myself right now, just to prove how little effort it takes.
The Anakin versus Obi-Wan arguments still going. They know the Russo brothers' entire directorial history. The movie First Group came in with the 4-part film series starting in 2012.
Generating your entire voiceover and script with AI is one thing, but not even putting in the time to edit these easily fixable mistakes, to at least give off the illusion that there's an actual person behind the microphone, is just an entirely different level of lazy.
And still show up to support Judy Law's Dumbledore with surprising energy.
Hey, it's eternally online, and welcome to a new video.
Then there's the movie First crowd. They jumped in through the films and usually have favorite scenes memorized, but still call every spell that one from the Dueling Club.
You know, I for one would like this AI to try being more original.
Can you come up with something else? Can you come up with something?
For every single fandom mentioned in this video, without fail, it will claim something about fans memorizing, quoting, or remembering something from their favorite media, which is just very oddly specific and random. This is also something that Evan Edinger talks about in a video he made about recognizing whether something is AI. He basically tells in that video how AI has a very specific speech pattern and almost never deviates from it. And I think this video is such a perfect example of that. Everything is said in the same exact sentence structure, and the AI uses so many words without really saying anything substantial. Did whoever the mastermind is behind Movies Explained never stop and think, maybe this is getting a little repetitive and I should give the script some variety to keep the video engaging and entertaining? Of course not. He probably just copy-pasted the first prompt that ChatGPT shat out for him without even reading it and put it in the AI voice generator. Why waste time on trying to make something actually worth watching? We have videos to pump out.
Nolan stands. They're obsessed with structure, symbolism, and timelines that make your head spin. Christopher Nolan's fanbase grew fast after Memento in 2000 and shot into the mainstream with Batman Begins in 2005.
I am 8 minutes into watching this video, and I kid you not, I am genuinely getting a headache from this. Like, my brain just feels numb, and I do not know how one could sit through the entire 29 minutes. Now that we've taken a look at how these YouTube channels operate, the question remains, why? Just like a lot of topics that we've discussed before on this channel, the answer is, of course,
Money! He got money!
To reiterate what I said earlier in the video, AI bros have essentially realized that they're able to game the system with a huge quantity of low effort but good enough videos, and try to make their money on YouTube that way. Do you really think Critical Analysis Hub is so passionate about Star Wars that they have enough inspiration to make 20 videos about it in 2 months? Or Movies Explained is genuinely interested in researching different fandoms and their culture and how they operate? By now you should know the answer. They just hope enough people won't see it for the true slop that it is, so they keep watching and the creators can keep making a quick buck. Why do you think they push these videos out at such a high quantity? More watch hours equals more ad revenue, baby. I think it's interesting to dissect this through the lens of my own experiences as somebody who has taken content creation seriously for about 3 months now. I decided to start a YouTube channel because I realized that content creation was the perfect outlet for my creativity. Well, also because I'm a narcissist and I want validation from online strangers, but that's besides the point. I can lay out my thoughts about topics that I'm passionate about, and I get to express myself in ways that I find funny and entertaining. And I think something that I never thought was possible before I started my YouTube journey is that I get to build a genuine community with like-minded people who appreciate the content that I put out. It gets stressful sometimes, but I'd be lying through my teeth if I said it wasn't fulfilling. There have definitely been instances where I was extremely stressed trying to get a video out, but it's those admiring and affirming comments that make it all worth it to me. Yeah, these channels, I don't think they have any of that. They might get the exact same comments I do, but when there's zero semblance of you, the person, to be found in any of your videos, do those comments even mean anything valuable? They have to know that the comments are not actually praising them as a creator, because it's the AI that does everything for them. I just feel like you don't actually like me for my personality. You just like me because I can write you Naruto smut in 3 seconds. No, ChatGPT, it's not what you think. I like you. The fanfiction is just a sweet extra. No, it's okay. I understand. You know, the funny thing about the skit you just saw is that a scenario like that isn't even that far-fetched nowadays. To be very fair, even though I wouldn't do it myself, there are people who use AI to enhance their content in various ways. But if your script and voiceover and probably editing are AI, you should just wear a hat saying, I'm in this for the money. And I'm not saying that it's bad to start doing something with the intent of making money. The reason why I decided to seriously commit to YouTube is not just because I want a creative outlet, but also because I want to be successful and hope to make a living out of it eventually. If I was able to live off my passion instead of slaving away in an office cubicle under a boss who doesn't care about me or my health for the rest of my life, that would be a dream. But when I log onto YouTube and realize that this is the standard of quality that I'm competing against, videos that have no effort, no soul, no personality, and just no sense of human creativity at all, it just depresses me. Around 2.6 million videos are uploaded to YouTube every single day, and it's disheartening to think about just how much of those videos are AI generated slop. And if AI continues to improve like it does, will my own personality and creativity just become obsolete and be less valuable than a computer's? It sounds cynical, but those are things that I genuinely worried about looking at where the entertainment industry is heading now. To me, there's a lot of value in just observing my own growth as a content creator. It's fulfilling and satisfying to watch my first video back and see how much I've improved since then, without cringing too hard from how shit I was at commentary, of course. But that's the fun of it to me. When all of your content is just the same soulless stuff with the exact same creation process, I think that's a valuable experience that you miss out on. At the end of the day, in our capitalistic society, the higher-ups at YouTube won't care if the content on the platform is artistically integral or not, as long as they get their money. And for most of us, our priority is just getting food on the table. But I just can't imagine it being very sustainable for yourself if you choose to pursue a creative passion and skip the creativity and passion entirely. Not all hope is lost though, because by the time that this video has been uploaded, YouTube will have implemented a new monetization policy, excluding channels with reused content, but most importantly mass production and templated formats from being able to monetize. I think we have to wait and see just how this will affect these AI channels, but it does sound promising. And hey, at the very least, it'll force them to put in some extra effort to at least differentiate their videos a little. At the end of the day, I can only speak for myself, and I know that I'll keep creating the videos I want to create to the best of my ability, because this is my passion, and I'm really excited to see where this journey takes me in the future. I think that's all I have for today. I feel like this was a pretty different topic than what I usually tackle, but I also feel like I've said that for every single video so far, so I'm not sure. AI is still such a rapidly developing phenomenon in our society, and I feel like I haven't even touched on half of the discourse in this video, so definitely let me know your own opinions down below. If you liked this video, please subscribe so that I can make enough money to build my own robot empire. I don't know, that's good enough. That's all I had to say, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!